Hello, hello. Welcome aboard, everybody. This is bowl game number 15 on your schedule. Scott and Scott will be taking a look at the Easypost Hawaii Bowl. I am the aforementioned Scott. I am Scott Steen. I am the lead handicapper at winnersandwhiners.com. I am joined, as always, to take a look at this one by
Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over winnersandwhiners.com.
And together we do a little show every day at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, entitled Heading Back to the Window with Scott and Scott, as we try to give you a chance to cash multiple tickets every day as you head back to the window. But we're also doing our special bowl series. Like we said, this is going to be played in Honolulu, Hawaii, the Easypost Hawaii Bowl. Scott, do you know what Easypost does?
I believe they help you post things easily.
Nope, they sell physical posts, Scott. Nothing but fence posts, barber posts. They sell any kind of post that you need, any size, and they will even have someone come out and help you put it in. If you need somebody to dig a post hole, they will do that as well. Easypost for all your post needs. Scott, you ever dig a hole? You ever dig a post hole? The post hole
I have
digger?
not.
Never done a post hole digger? That's
too
real
busy
man
handicapping.
work. That's real man work right there. You ever baled hay? You ever spent a summer baling hay?
No. I might have seen
either.
hay 4 times in my life.
You've seen hay 4 times?
That's funny. Give or take.
That's funny. I spent an afternoon baling hay. I'm not going to tell you one of these hard stories that I spent a whole summer when I was 14 baling hay. No, I spent an afternoon doing it, and that was all I wanted. That was about 3 hours too long. That is some hard shit. As always, all you people out there in Middle America growing our food, working your ass off from sunup to sundown, salute. I appreciate what you're doing. Obviously, I appreciate your effort. So,
do you think there is hay in Hawaii?
I don't believe there is hay. There might be hay fever, but I don't believe there's any hay. Heiawanalea, I believe, is a monument in Hawaii. If you ever go to Hawaii, you should see the Heiawanalea monument.
Mahalo.
Memphis, 8.5 point. I guess we call them a road favorite here, Scott. It's Memphis isn't in Hawaii, so I'm going to call this a road game from Memphis. Hawaii, is it their home stadium? 55 is the total here, and you might say Memphis isn't very good. Why on earth would they be favored by 8.5? Well, Scott, any ideas why?
Because you don't know who's playing for Army. I mean, for Hawaii.
Well, you do, and they're not very good. That's your problem.
I'm saying we do. I'm saying the majority of the public probably did not research who the backup quarterback is for Hawaii.
No, or even if they need a backup quarterback, which they do, there is some kind of turmoil within the Hawaii football programs. Coach Graham not having a good time. An anonymous source on the offensive line says, quote, Graham has killed our love and passion for football, close quote. Scott,
that's a good quote.
That's you're not exactly a player's coach if that's what they're. I mean, that's not like he plays favorites or his practices are too long. It's like he's killed my love for football. I'm now moving on.
I have 2 questions for that.
All right.
One, if he killed your love for football, then why did you win the last 2 games for the honor to play another game? That's my first question. And 2, if you're going to be anonymous about it, how do you let it leak that you're an offensive lineman? How many offensive linemen do you think the team actually has?
12, 14, something like that.
You're probably really, limiting the options there for you to camouflage yourself amongst your peers.
You're narrowing it down for sure. So apparently there's some fire where all this smoke about Coach Graham is, because they're arguably their 2 best players, Siobhan Cordero, their quarterback, and Dede Hunter, decent running back. They've entered the transfer portal. They're gone. So they do still have Dedrick Parson. He's been a decent running back. He actually had more carries than Hunter did. Not quite the explosiveness, doesn't have the numbers, but where they really are going to feel a drop here is at the quarterback. Braden Shager is going to be stepping in for Cordero. And there are no other options, by the way. You have to go far, far down the depth chart to find anybody. It's going to be Shager or bust. Scott, you ready to ride or die with Shager in this one?
No.
No.
I'm looking at Memphis in this spot because I kind of have to.
Got
I
to.
like to fade teams with a bunch of opt-outs. Now, Memphis does have an opt-out, which is pretty important, which we'll get into in a second.
Yep.
But I can't help but fade a team that's having a quarterback who's pretty much never played behind center for a bowl game without a running back as well. And it's not even just those two players. If the entire offensive line, because I'm sure the guy didn't go rogue. I'm sure he spoke on behalf of a decent amount of players on the league. I mean, on the team. If you don't like your head coach and you go down early, I don't exactly expect the halftime pump up speech to go too well. So I'm going to go with Memphis. I think they'll lay it on them.
Yeah, this is a Hawaii team that allows a fair amount of sacks. You're back there running for your life. Shager's had just 107 attempts. He's been sacked 9 times. That's not good. Cordero was sacked 28 times. So this is a team that's given up 37, or actually they've tried the running back option twice. He's been sacked twice. So they've given up 39 sacks as a team on the year. Memphis, good team. They're not elite like they were last year on defense, but they can still get after the quarterback. I think they are, what are they, 54th in the country, Scott? 2.5 sacks a game. That number should go up against this apparently disaffected Hawaii offensive line. Not happy at all. Normally, you like to play Hawaii in the over in the Hawaii Bowl games. My friend, I think this is going to be an exception year for me. I'm going to take Memphis minus the 8.5. I cannot get behind Shager as a quarterback in this Hawaii defense. Never great under the best of circumstances. Memphis will certainly be hurt by their absence. Scott, you want to talk about that just a little bit as a fine young wide receiver has decided to hit to the NFL?
Yes, of course. You have to keep in mind when it comes to evaluating Memphis's talent, the most talented player is obviously wide receiver Calvin Austin III, and he opted out as well. So because both teams are missing key players on that offense, I do think that the under's the play. I know the line has moved a decent amount already, but when you compare Cordero to the other quarterbacks on the roster, Cordero might not be great, but he's experienced. And when you shove in a brand new guy who might take a bunch of sacks, and I expect Hawaii to potentially throw in the towel if this team falls down early, I can't take an over. Now, the issue is, can Memphis score 49 points? And the argument is they can, but with Austin being out, I do think that is going to be the final nail in the coffin for the over. I'm looking at the under because with Austin out as well, I think Memphis's offense will generate less big plays because Austin's also a special teamer who can generate some big punt returns and kick returns. So I'm going with Memphis and I'm going with the under. But it's really a game that was a lot more entertaining about 3 days ago. Let's put it that way.
Yep, agreed. It's another, it's not going to have the high profile opt outs that some of the other games might have, but you're certainly going to have very impactful opt outs. Technically, Cordero and Dede have entered the transfer portal, so they're not technically an opt out, but you get the drift. It's guys that ain't playing for whatever.
My favorite play in this game is still Memphis because when 2 of your best offensive players opt out, and the offensive line or an offensive lineman says he hates the coach, and the coach just pretty much ruined the enjoyment of the game for the players. If they go down early, they're rolling over. That's what that means to me.
Yeah, I'm less worried about having Parson play for Dede Hunter. I think that's a decent substitution. Obviously, hurts your depth at running back, but Shager for Cordero. Again, Cordero. He's not going to remind anybody of Joe Montana, but he's a competent college quarterback who's probably not going to lose you a ton of games. The same
Hennigan's not bad.
Braden Shager. What's that?
I said Hennigan's not that bad for Memphis, and we saw that Hawaii's pass defense is very underwhelming. Mm-hmm. I do think that Memphis will move the ball through the air. I just had 3 shots of Hennigan's, and I don't smell.
Thank you very much. I'll take 31-17 final in this one.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. I'll give Hawaii 17 because even though they're with a backup quarterback, it's not like Memphis's defense is a world beater by any means. Yeah. But give me 34-17, something like that.
They're gonna run for 130. They're gonna run for 130, 150. they're going to throw for $120. That's the problem.
I'm not saying that Memphis is going to bench anybody when they blow the game open, but I do think they're going to focus more on draining the clock late. We know Memphis for being a no-huddle team that really goes quickly. When you're up against a team that can't score and you're in the late second half, they're going to be milking clock on the last couple of drives.
Mercy, yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
You're up 14, 17 points. It actually behooves you to start going a little bit slower. So, yeah. I totally agree with that. All right, that's going to do it for our bowl preview here for the Easypost Hawaii Bowl game number 15 on your schedule. Stay tuned, guys. Don't forget to check out Scott and I every day, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central on the YouTubes, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live as we do our show heading back to the window. And we've got just 27 more bowl games to go. So we'll be getting to that. Happy holidays to everybody that celebrates. Happy Christmas week to everybody that doesn't. And we'll be back tomorrow with yet more bowl previews. You guys take care. Have a great day. We'll see you next